Yeah, I want to talk about something I've been meaning to talk about for a while. Oscar De La Hoya. You know, nobody can accuse this guy of ever ducking anybody or what I'm saying, skipping any fights. He got the most impressive resume. You know what I'm saying. I don't understand how the fuck he didn't win Fighter of the Decade. You know what I'm saying. But anyway, the guy had a lot of, you know, I ain't gonna say big fights. His fights were events. I understand that generated a lot of cash. His fights were events. But what I don't like is the fact that over his career, all the money that he made, the people he was fighting were making peanuts. I remember when he fought Shane. Of course, Shane won the first fight. Then Shane won the second fight, and they were negotiating for a third fight. And the purse was for Shane to get $4 million, and for Oscar to get 16. And Shane didn't want to do it. Shane felt like, I don't got to get the lion's share, but damn, dog, 4 to 16. Can we make it more reasonable? Can we get like 7 to fucking 11? You know what I'm saying? I already beat you twice. Same thing with Trinadad. Trinadad said, look, bottom line, before we start any negotiations, I'm getting a lion's share. If I'm not getting a lion's share, there ain't no need to even talking to me. And that's why the rematch never popped off. And I can feel him, you know what I'm saying? Oscar basically said, all right, fuck it. If I ain't getting a lion's share, I'm not fighting you. All right. Trinidad did the same thing because, Trinidad was selling out Madison Square Garden. He was packing that bitch. And after he lost to Bernard Hopkins, that was one of his best options, was to rematch Oscar De La Hoya. And, can't say, he was coming off a loss because Oscar had lost a couple of fights back then. You know what I'm saying? That was Trinidad's first loss. So, and in my response, I want to hear from a couple of guys, I want to hear from Blood. I want to hear from Bruce. I want to hear from Slideways, Pull Counter TV. What do y'all think about Oscar De La Hoya always lowballing the guys he was fighting? You know what I'm saying? Basically, he was making 3, 4, 5 times the amount that his opponent was making. Not in most of the fights, in every fucking fight he had. You know what I'm saying? If I'm not mistaken, his pro debut, he made like 20 grand. You know what I'm saying? The dude he fought made like $400, I want to hear y'all take on that. You know what I'm saying? I think that at some point in time, you had to come up as one dude would always put, a fucking noble person. You know what I'm saying? A humble person. You got to come up off some of that. You know what I'm saying? And make the fights happen. I want to hear what y'all think.